Here we are at Singapore airport, just landed, and it looks very busy. And the same impression that I got the last time I was here a couple of years ago. Everybody's so young. Oh dear, I feel like a grandfather. Right, now to try and get a taxi to my hotel. Just staying overnight, leaving early in the morning, won't be able to see anything of Singapore, but on the way back, I've got the whole day, so I'll see something.
The morning flight, you do not want to travel around, move too much, you know?
No, of course not.
Very late in the night, and then you have to wake up early in the morning to catch a flight. So a good supper, a good rest, I think will help you rejuvenate and rest. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Now I'm in the taxi now, driving into Singapore, going to Changi. Changi is very famous for English people, of course. There was a prison there in the war, a very brutal prison. And now it's the site of the airport and also my hotel. Well, this is one of the suburbs of Singapore. It's not the centre, but I'm just going to grab something to eat before I go to bed. The nightlife of suburban Singapore. So it's just starting to close down now. Just arrived in Sarawak. This is Kuching, the capital of Sarawak, driving in from the airport. So here is the iconic Parliament. I hope to be taking a close look shortly. Very unusual building. So this is the Renee Boutique Hotel where I'll be staying.
Right. Now you notice there is the building, the platform, right? And this one is not narrow. It is a bit more inwards, a bit more wide.
Yeah.
Because of the heat.
Okay.
Yeah. And no zinc, right? No other materials, building shingle on the roof.
Can I just interrupt? Can
Sure.
you introduce yourself again?
Oh, okay. Louis Jump, Louis, yeah.
And
Man.
good.
Okay. Okay. So we will finish here. We end up here.
And does that have anything to do with Astana in Kazakhstan, the capital?
No.
No.
But
nothing.
but the word comes from there.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It comes from Iran. Yeah.
So this is the Parliament,
Because-
the Square House, and the palace.
Right.
Palace is
The one
over
with
there.
the two fortress. Yeah.
Yes.
There's the
And
palace.
this is the famous bridge.
This one is the famous bridge. You see this one, the S Bridge. Yeah.
Yes.
And that one, the building behind there is the new legislative house. Yeah. Every state we have 13 of square tower, we call it.
1890. Is that 19 or 79?
1879.
79.
Yes, 1879.
So this is somehow the ordinary man's view of what Kuching is like, and Borneo, and the river mouth, and something that looks like the beginnings of jungle, but of course it's a modern city, 600,000 people. I shall be doing a cruise on this part of the river tonight. In the distance you can see the mountains, wreathed in clouds. Some interesting buildings over in that direction. Not quite sure what that is. In a sense it's similar to the Parliament here. And there's the famous bridge and old Chinatown. Some interesting houses here. For me, rather typically Southeast Asia. Coming up now back to the water. And I'm afraid the COVID epidemic has made a big difference to Kuching. I seem to be a very solitary tourist, or foreign tourist, let's say. Chinatown buildings, unfortunately there's a lot of traffic. Shop houses. You tend to find these all over the place in Southeast Asia. You see a lot of them in Singapore, because of course everything's open. It's never cold, it's always pleasantly warm, although it's raining sometimes. So you tend to have a very outdoor society. We're now going into Jalan Carpenter, I think. This is Jalan Carpenter, right?
This is Jalan Carpenter.
Yeah. Arcades protect you from the rain, open so the warmth comes in, or the warmth probably goes out actually.
The windows initially is long.
Chinatown. Good shot here of the Parliament. So these would be what?
This one was
100 years old?
Cinema. Yeah, 100, yeah. This one is the police station now. Yeah. This one was a resident office before. We're resident. Yeah, every division is in charge of by a resident.
Yes.
Yeah. Very British.
The Islamic part of Kuching. This is where the ladies used to stand, waiting for the gold miners to come in from out of town who'd been away for 2 or 3 months, earn themselves a lot of money, but wanted to spend it, and this is where they came.
Oh, you just miss it. I don't need it. You will be crying.
Really?
You never.
This part was built by the Japanese apparently to connect the other 2 buildings for administration purposes, and built by, not the Japanese, Western prisoners of war, mainly British and Australian. This is the cafe at the Renee Museum. Renee being the wife of the Raj, the White Raj, and famous in her own right, and she has her own museum. So my guide called this UTC. UTC is, I think, a block of government offices and a car park, and this sits on top of it. And my book talks about Top Spot, and they turn out to be the same, and this is just what I've done in Singapore, and it's lovely. You go, you choose your fish that have just come out of the sea. They haven't been iced, they're fresh. I've chosen stingray, but there's other things, the sea bream, sea bass, and I don't know what they're. You select a salad, the salad's weighed, you pay by the weight. You choose your beer, you've got Anchor or Tiger, and yeah. So it's being cooked and I'm waiting for it. My beer's arrived already. They don't have draft, but let's see what the bottled version's like. My guide told me go to 25, but seems to 25's got a queue. 18's seems to do exactly the same, so I'm trying it. It's all an experiment, but it looks very good. The fish looks lovely, the salad looks lovely. Everybody's enjoying themselves, and my first beer for several days. This is Kuching. What do you recognize here? wacky version of the Dubai fountain. And I've got a room just by the river. Couldn't have had a nicer location. There's that amazing bridge. Oh, and there's something over there on the horizon that wasn't included in the tour yesterday. I don't know what it is. Have to go and investigate. And this is the Legislative Assembly where the local government meets. So, time to explore. Look at that tree. It's a very nice room that I've got here actually, and with the combination of wood, bamboo, almost looks like teak, mahogany, somehow it captures the image, the impression of Borneo, doesn't it? And particularly this very nice bathroom, the stones and the wood. I really quite like this room. And even the corridors and the decor out here, very stylish, very Borneoese, if that's the correct word. There's reception down there. Look at that, that's very nice. Morning. I do really like this decor and the furniture, and these chairs, they're made of proper wood that you don't see in Europe so much now. In fact, if you try and pick them up, they're very heavy. And the cannon looks pretty genuine, looks the same as the ones on the fort yesterday. Like this teak, mahogany, not sure, but very nice. Where did this come from? Very nice foyer. So this is the food hall, Chinese style, opposite the Chinese temple. And honestly, I can't tell the difference between the customers and the serving people. I'm getting rather confused here. So I'm going to try Sarawak Laksa with seafood. Let's see how it turns out. And just to add to the challenges, these are different stores actually. So food's here, and ordering is, you can know what you want. And drinks are over there, and it's separate people and separate payments. Yeah, let's see what comes. Chinese food hall, trying to get a bowl of Sarawak Laksa. But the first problem is to try and find a table. I'll show you what Sarawak Laksa is. This is it, and I think you get a special seafood mix with it, and we can have scallops as well. And this is it, the famous Sarawak Laksa with seafood. £3, I think that's a pretty good deal. And this was about 50 pence, the drink, jasmine green tea. And this is the very dangerous stuff that's hot. And I doubt whether I'm going to put it in. Oh, that was lovely. Very nice. These gravestones, I believe, are some of the gravestones of members of the Brooke family. Contributions from certain people with their names and the amount. And there's no English, but I'm assuming it was for a restoration or some sort of contribution, or building the original building maybe. It's not that old, 1868 I think was the date, which is the early years of Sarawak really. And over there again, very good view of the bridge and of the assembly. This is probably the best Chinese temple in Kuching. Very colourful, and lovely dragons on the roof. See if I can get inside. You can certainly say one thing: Chinese temples are much more elaborate than ours. Which is the better? Not sure. The lack of elaboration in our temples, our churches, certainly in England, is a rejection of the colour, the images, the reliance on symbolism and whatever. But this is lovely. This is the Chinese Cultural Museum. The building doesn't look very Chinese, but apparently the contents are very... It's next to the river. You can see everything else. There's the bridge, there's the legislature, the park over there, the walk along the promenade. It's very well positioned. So this is it. There's some Chinese writing outside, but as I say, the building doesn't look very Chinese. So this is the famous bridge in Kuching. You see it's sort of wavy and suspended in the air, and it's the shape of an S. And one possible interpretation is it's the S for Sarawak. They're very proud. They don't consider themselves almost Malaysians, they consider themselves Sarawak. And I think that's nice. Over there is the Astana. Astana is the residence. It's where the Brooke used to rule, and where the current governor is situated. It's closed to the public. So here we are on the bridge, and very well situated. In the background there's a mosque. there is a thing called the Indian Mosque. I wonder if that's the Indian Mosque. Maybe. Going up over the river. Astana.
Okay, okay. Bye-bye.
Mountains over there. Seems to be some sort of observation platform. And covered so that it shelters you from the sun or from the rain. Nice colourful building there. And just between the trees over there, where I was yesterday, Fort Margarita. Margarita, the wife of Charles Brooke. So as I see now, there are two mosques. And the one on the left must be the Indian Mosque in Jalan, India. And the one on the right must be a Malaysian mosque, Islamic. Malaysian and Indian seems to be a logical conclusion. The one on the left is very Indian. The one on the right is very Malaysian. Ferry boat. The only way of getting over the river, apart from going up to the bridge, of course. There are road bridges much further upstream, a couple of them. Otherwise the ferries do a lively trade. They have lots of crabs, but oh, can you hear the rain, Tanya? Yeah, they have red snapper as well. Somebody just bought some crab. Wow, can you hear the rain there? Amazing. It's quite expensive, the crab. And I mean, there isn't very much meat. I think I'm going to get sea bass, red snapper. Floods in Kuching. The sky was very dark, lightning, thunder, and you can see the rain coming down. We're protected at the moment, but the water is coming through. Oh my goodness me. I'm having a red snapper. Thank you very much. So that's the salad. Those are the beans. I'm told they're fern, the fish, and I'm ready to go. Well, I think I just about polished that off. So that one I didn't polish off, but I've got most of the rice done. I've got most of the fern, is that what you call them, fern done. I've got my salad bowl almost finished. And I'm afraid there wasn't very much meat on that fish, but what there was, I got the majority of it.